Hey everybody, Dan here with Pain Free You. So today I wanted to talk about this concept, failure. So today's topic is going to be let's reframe failure. So we'll get to that in a minute. And let's breathe, relax, smile, know you're well. You're in the right place to get better, eliminate your symptoms. All right. Comment below. Do you feel like you're failing at this thing called life, at this thing called recovery from your chronic pain or symptoms? Are you failing? Let's reframe that. How much better would it be, or how much more optimistic would you feel if instead of saying, I'm failing, I'm not better yet, you just view any time that you don't get the result that you want as your first, second, third, fifth, 10th, 100th attempt. These are just attempts. We try something, we notice the result, and we say, oh, that didn't work the way I had hoped. We adjust subtly and try again. Then adjust and try again, adjust and try again. Failure, let's eliminate that. Okay, so Einstein invented the light bulb. He did not fail 5,000 times. The story is, in his mind, he successfully proved 5,000 ways that did not create a light bulb. So he never really viewed it as failure. He said, okay, that isn't the way to do it. That's not the way to do it either. And he kept on trying, adjusting, until he created the light bulb, which literally changed the world. So try not to view things as failures. Let's say you wake up and you've got symptoms. You're not a failure. Your brain is perceiving danger. You didn't do anything. You didn't cause it. You didn't fail. It's not your fault. And if we look at failure as just an attempt and something that we can learn from, so that's a great way to look at things. If things are not going as well as you would like in your recovery attempts, what can you learn from the things you've tried already? Well, if you're in a big flare and you're in a freak out and in a complete panic, observe it. Notice, what's going on? Is that a failure? No. It's a learning opportunity. It's an attempt that didn't work out the way you liked. And so you can learn from that and adjust. So for example, if you're in a huge flare-up and you're in a complete panic and freaking out and despondent and thinking to yourself, this is never going to work, we can learn. That doesn't make me feel better mentally, emotionally, or physically. And all I'm doing is beating myself up because I'm calling it a failure. That's not working. So what can we adjust? We can recognize a flare-up for what it is, just that the brain is perceiving more danger. Recognize that the freak out and the panic and the despair and the being consumed by the symptoms is actually fueling them and causing that flare-up to stay high and stick around longer. So what can we learn from that experience? Oh, that's not working. Maybe I should change my approach. And my suggestion for any flare-up or any increase in symptoms, or even the presence of symptoms that are pretty baseline, is to notice them and say, okay, they're still around. I'm going to give them little to no concern. I shift my attention away from them. And if the symptoms reach out and grab my attention, I'm going to say, oh, hello, good to see you. I'm not concerned with you. And shift your attention back. Calmly reassure yourself. I've done the assessments, right? I've done the assessments. I know it creates symptoms, the perception of danger. It applies to me. And I'm not concerned with it because I know by definition, perceived danger, pain, or symptoms, also known as TMS, by definition means your body's not the problem. You're not broken. You're not sick. So, if you're not getting the results you want yet from your efforts in this mind-body space, what can you learn from what you've tried so far? And instead of getting more and more upset that it's not working yet, just ask yourself, do I truly feel safe, or am I consumed by the symptoms? Do the symptoms kind of have me by the collar saying, I own you? Or can you remind yourself consistently that they don't own you? It's just something you are experiencing. You're not failing at getting better. You're learning a whole bunch of ways that's not working for you. But if you don't change or try anything different, how do you expect to learn and adjust and get better? It's like learning anything. That's why in school they give us math equations, and you do them over and over again until you learn how to do them. Learning a musical instrument, you're not going to get it right the first time. You're not failing at learning the musical instrument. You're making attempts at playing, and you learn from every attempt you take. So why in this world of chronic pain elimination is not getting the result you want deemed a failure? It's an exaggerated response, isn't it? If you view it as, this is the attempt I'm making today to remind myself I'm good, and maybe it'll work out, maybe it won't. And if it doesn't, what can I learn from today? How did that go? What can I possibly do a little bit different tonight, tomorrow afternoon? Learn, adjust, repeat. And when I say repeat, try again, right? Learn, adjust, take another action, and ask yourself, if you're not getting the results you want, am I truly conveying safety, or am I going through the motions? Am I telling myself I'm safe, or do I actually believe it? These things matter, folks. Authenticity matters. So let's reframe failure. Not as failure, because failure is kind of like, the only way you fail, I've done a video on this, the only way you fail is if you quit. Failure is not failure as long as you get back up and you adjust and learn from it and try again. And don't view getting a result that you're not happy with as a failure. Just view it as an attempt that didn't give you the result yet. See how this works? Not too complex, but keep these things in mind. If you're calling yourself a failure, or you're doing it all wrong, I can't get this stuff, what can you learn from what you've done already, and how can you adjust it in a way that conveys safety in a credible, consistent way? You keep on adjusting towards safety, you're eventually going to get there. So I'm going to wrap it up here. Hope everybody's doing well. As you can tell, I'm back home. It was going to be brutally hot up at the lake for the next 2 days, and I'm going to be running group coaching anyway, so I wouldn't have been able to really enjoy the fishing in the water too much. So I decided to pack up and come home. So I'm back home, and it's good to be home. The lake is beautiful, stunning, love it, but it's still good to be home. Anyway, I appreciate all of you, love you, and as always, we will see you tomorrow. Take care.